You might have seen the former England footballer Michael Owen talking about his son, and in particular, his son's eyesight over the past couple of days. His son James is 17 and he has this condition called Stargardt disease, and he's now clinically blind. It's incurable and it's genetic. Michael and James have been raising loads of awareness about this on a new episode of the BBC's Access All podcast. Take a listen to this.
I'm obviously desperate. I mean, I'd pay every cent that I've got, to make James see again. I'd walk the other end of the world to make him see.
And would
better.
you want that, James?
Well, yeah, definitely. Well, for everyone as well, not just for me.
It's actually quite hard, isn't it, for a parent to see a kid go through anything. And, obviously when we were finding out what James's eye condition was, there must have been procedures and things like that. That's hard as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. You're pushing your son forward to get something is going to be painful. It's not going to sting all day. He doesn't want it. And
so like drops and stuff like that?
Exactly, anything like that. People prodding away at his eyes and sticking things in them and all the rest of it as a kid. It's just horrible to see your son not enjoying it and being in pain and all the rest of it. So it's very difficult. You want to take all the pain away. You want to swap, with him. If I could give him my eyes and we'll do a swap, then I would tomorrow, of course. But
yeah,
we just are so positive. We do all the things. I've got a weekend off this weekend and me and him will be together. I wouldn't want to spend my time with anyone else type of thing. We'll be out in town. We'll be watching racing on the television and he won't be able to see it, but he'll be able to hear the commentary and we'll be messing about and we'll be listening to the football and watching that.
Well, I wanted to find out a bit more about Stargardt disease. And joining me now is Vinicius Motta, who's originally from Brazil, but now lives in Erdington. Vinicius, morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Now, you were diagnosed with this disease a few years ago.
Yes.
But your parents had concerns about your sight from a young age.
Yes, from a very young age, yeah.
Tell me about that. What did they notice?
So when I was about 7 years old, more or less, they would notice that I was, whenever I was watching the telly, I'd be sitting too close to the TV. And I thought, there might be something wrong with his eyesight. No one sits so close to the TV in order to see it.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were very suspicious that was something wrong with my eyesight from a very early age. So
they took that decision to move your entire family from Brazil over to the UK to get better support. That's a massive decision to make.
Yes, in Brazil, the support for people with any sort of visual impairment is very limited. And an opportunity came to move to the UK, and we took that opportunity as in a way for me to have a better life and more opportunities in the UK. So
you touched on it a little bit there. The situation in Brazil to get help like this. Did you think you ever would have been able to get the support that you received here?
I wouldn't say so. Never would get the proper support. Like, for example, in Brazil, I wouldn't take the public transport because that was something that I wouldn't be able to do on my own. Mm-hmm. And in the UK, with the support that I received from going to a special education needs school, I was taught how I could take the bus on my own, how I could take the train, and this is a support that I would never have had in Brazil.
And it was here where you got the official diagnosis?
Yes, but in Brazil we always had the suspicion, but it was when we moved to the UK, when we did our genetic test, that we could definitely confirm, yes, I'm diagnosed with Stargardt.
That must have been really tough for your family, your parents in particular, as a process, to see you going through that as a child, not seeing that you would get the help that you would need in your own home country, then move you over to the other side of the world and then being given this diagnosis.
Yeah.
What was that like for them? Did you ever talk about that?
Yeah, a little bit. In a way, we feel that moving to the UK was the right decision, only because in terms of opportunities, there are way more opportunities that I can benefit from, and just in general having a more accessible life in general. But yeah, definitely moving to the UK, I think for all of us was the right decision, only because I can have more like a normal life here in the UK rather than not being able to do many things in Brazil. So
Michael Owen is talking about this a lot, and it's a disease that many people still wouldn't know much about. How important do you think that's been for you to have someone like Michael Owen
Well, I think it's very important to raise awareness about it. And in actual fact, I was having this conversation with some friends on Monday, and one of them wasn't aware that I had Stargardt disease, because it's not something that people will look at you and identify. Oh yeah, he has some sort of eye condition. It is not something very identifiable. So I'm really glad that there are people out there making awareness of it, just so that more people are more aware. And like, how do we approach? How do we support someone who is diagnosed with that condition?
Tell us about it. You know, for anyone who doesn't know, what exactly is this disease?
So I see very little. I'm not completely blind, but technically I'm registered as blind. So I've always had a very low eyesight since I was born. So I don't really know how it is to experience like normal eyesight. So, for example, if you see a sign in a wall, you may be able to see it from very far ahead. In my case, I need to get like one step away from it in order to be able to read it.
How much in this room can you see?
Not much. Like, for example, I can see like some banners down there in blue and with some white text. I can't read any of the white text.
That's our logo, our BBC Radio WM logo.
Yeah, I can't see that at all. I can see that there's some white stuff there. What it is, I don't really know.
What's life like for you on a daily basis? Is it challenging?
I mean, I don't like thinking it's challenging, only because I feel I've been able to adapt from a very young age, especially at Brazil, where I didn't have like the support that I needed. I had to find ways around it. And in a way, I feel like that made me very independent and also very brave in exploring different ways of what things work for me and what things do not work for me. But nowadays, with technology, it just helps quite a lot.
Yeah.
So
you're in your final year.
Yes.
Of your music degree.
Yes, that's
at the
right.
Royal Birmingham Conservatoire.
Yes.
Congratulations, your final year. A lot of pressure, I can imagine.
Yeah.
What's that experience been like for you?
Oh, it's been very exciting. I'm a composer, so I write music for other people to play. And at moments, it is a bit challenging because of my condition. For example, whenever I'm on rehearsals, I can't really see everyone who is there, but then I trust the conductor that he would do a good job, and then I'll talk to the conductor afterwards. But yeah, it's been a wonderful experience to study at the Conservatoire, and I've definitely had quite a lot of support there as well.
Is that for every instrument in the orchestra?
Yes, for every single instrument in the orchestra.
You can write music for every instrument in the orchestra?
Yes, I can.
What?
Yes, it's crazy, isn't it?
That's incredible. That's amazing. Do you use technology to help you with this?
Yes, definitely. So the setup that I have is I have a laptop at home, and then in front of me I have a 40 inches telly, and that plugs my laptop into it. So effectively I can read everything, and then I just zoom in and I sit very close to the TV.
And you've got a busy few weeks ahead. You've got a concert coming up as well tomorrow night.
Yes, I do, at CBSO Centre, yes.
So that's going to be a pretty special moment for you.
Definitely. Yeah, it's going to be a good moment, not only because the orchestra is playing it, but also because I have quite a lot of work into it, and also I'm sort of revisiting Brazil in certain ways. I'm arranging some music from South American composers, some English composers, and some Polish composers. So it's been quite a very nice experience to work with the orchestra.
Sounds very beautiful.
Yes.
I could imagine music's been a very important part of your life.
Oh, definitely. Music has been part of my life since I was 12 when I started playing the guitar. So yeah, and it has been there ever since, and will be there forever. So.
You have such an incredible story, Vinicius.
Thank you so much.
I can't wait to tell my brother about you. He composes music as well. I can't wait to tell him about you. You're so inspiring. What you've done to make sure that you're still able to be your best version of yourself. You know, coming over the other side of the world, your whole family.
Yes.
This is an incredible story. And you're an incredible person. So thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. We're going to talk more about this condition that's been highlighted by Michael Owen later on in this show. We've got loads more still to come, but it's 8 o'clock now, so let's get to your latest news and travel with Louise Hancock.